40 light years away from Earth, there is a planet so valuable that its riches would make every treasure on Earth seem insignificant. Not a planet filled with gold, not a planet covered in rare metals, but a world that may contain unimaginable quantities of diamonds, enough to be worth more than the entire global economy combined. At first, it sounds like science fiction, a fantasy world created for a movie. But this planet is real, and it exists hundreds of trillions of kilometers from Earth. Its name is 55 Cancri E, one of the strangest planets ever discovered. For years, scientists believed planets could be roughly divided into familiar categories: rocky worlds like Earth, gas giants like Jupiter, frozen planets like Neptune. Then they found 55 Cancri A. And suddenly, the universe became much stranger. This world is nearly twice the size of Earth. It races around its star in less than a single day. Its surface may be hot enough to melt rock. And according to one extraordinary hypothesis, much of its interior could be made from carbon compressed into diamond. If true, this would be the most valuable planet humanity has ever discovered. But before you start imagining interstellar mining missions, there's something important you should know. 55 Cancri E is not a paradise. It's a nightmare world, a place of extreme heat, violent conditions, and mysteries that continue to challenge astronomers. So how did scientists discover a planet that may be made of diamonds? And is the famous Diamond Planet really what it seems? This is 55 Cancri E, the world that may be worth trillions beyond imagination. To understand why 55 Cancri E is so unusual, we first need to look at where it lives. The planet is located about 40 light years from Earth in the constellation Cancer. In cosmic terms, that's practically our neighborhood. It orbits a star known as 55 Cancri A, a sun-like star slightly smaller and cooler than our own. At first glance, the system seems fairly ordinary, but one planet immediately stands out: 55 Cancri E, a super-Earth nearly twice the size of our planet and about 8 times more massive. And yet, despite its larger size, what truly shocked astronomers was its orbit. 55 Cancri E circles its star in less than 18 hours. Think about that for a moment. While Earth takes 365 days to orbit the Sun, 55 Cancri E completes an entire year before a single day has passed on Earth. The planet is so close to its star that it sits roughly 25 times closer than Mercury is to the Sun. From its surface, the star would appear enormous in the sky, a blazing giant dominating the horizon. That extreme proximity exposes the planet to incredible amounts of heat and radiation, and it creates conditions unlike anything we experience on Earth. In fact, the environment on 55 Cancri E is so extreme that some scientists believe parts of its surface may be covered by oceans of molten rock. This isn't just another exoplanet. It's one of the most hostile worlds ever discovered. And yet, the deeper scientists looked, the stranger it became. Finding planets outside our solar system is never easy. They are incredibly small compared to their stars. They don't produce their own light, And from Earth, they are hidden within the overwhelming brightness of the stars they orbit. So how did scientists discover 55 Cancri e? They didn't actually see the planet. Instead, they detected its gravitational pull. As 55 Cancri e travels around its star, its gravity causes the star to wobble ever so slightly. Not enough for our eyes to notice, but enough for highly sensitive instruments to detect. By carefully measuring tiny shifts in the star's light, astronomers could determine that something massive was orbiting it. Something invisible, something moving incredibly fast. The first evidence appeared in the early 2000s. But at first, scientists weren't completely sure what they were seeing. The system turned out to be far more complicated than expected. Because 55 Cancri doesn't host just one planet. It hosts an entire family of planets orbiting the same star. As observations improved, astronomers refined their calculations and eventually confirmed the existence of 55 Cancri e, a massive rocky world orbiting astonishingly close to its star. And as more data arrived, researchers began realizing that this wasn't just another super-Earth. Its density, its composition, its extreme environment, everything about the planet seemed unusual. Then came a hypothesis so surprising that it captured headlines around the world. What if 55 Cancri e wasn't just a rocky planet? What if it was a planet made partly of diamonds? If Earth is a world of oceans and continents, 55 Cancri e is a world of extremes. The planet orbits so close to its star that temperatures on its surface can exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt rock, hot enough to turn parts of the planet into a landscape unlike anything found on Earth. Scientists believe much of the surface may be covered by vast seas of molten lava, rivers of liquid rock, glowing plains heated by relentless starlight. And because 55 Cancri e is likely tidally locked, one side of the planet may permanently face its star, while the other remains trapped in eternal darkness. Imagine standing on the daylight side. The star would dominate the sky, a gigantic blazing sun hanging overhead. The heat would be unbearable. The ground beneath you could glow from the intense temperatures. Meanwhile, conditions on the night side could be dramatically different, creating one of the most extreme contrasts ever observed on a planet. But the strangest discovery came when astronomers studied the planet's composition, its mass, its density, and the materials that may exist deep beneath its surface. Because those measurements led to an astonishing possibility. 55 Cancri e might not just be a lava world. It might be one of the most valuable planets in the universe. The idea of a diamond planet sounds almost too incredible to be true. And to be fair, scientists are still debating exactly what 55 Cancri e is made of. Today, many researchers believe the original diamond planet hypothesis may have been too simplistic. But that's not what makes 55 Cancri e fascinating. What matters is that this world forced scientists to rethink what planets can be. For most of human history, we only knew the planets of our own solar system: rocky worlds, gas giants, frozen planets. Then we began discovering exoplanets, and suddenly the universe became far stranger than we imagined. Lava worlds, ocean worlds, rogue planets drifting through deep space, and perhaps planets rich in exotic materials unlike anything found on Earth. 55 Cancri E reminds us that the universe doesn't have to follow our expectations. Somewhere out there, a planet races around its star every 18 hours. A world hot enough to melt rock. A world that may contain extraordinary amounts of carbon deep beneath its surface. A world unlike anything in our solar system. Will humanity ever reach it? Probably not. Will we ever mine its riches? Almost certainly not. But that's not the point. The true value of 55 Cancri E isn't measured in diamonds. It's measured in what it teaches us. That the universe is far more creative, far more bizarre, and far more extraordinary than we once believed. And among all the strange worlds we've discovered so far, 55 Cancri E remains one of the most unforgettable.